president-elect may be considering privatizing the U.S. Postal Service after his repeated scrutiny of the agency in his first term. And the news comes as the federally run service faces major financial fallout stemming from a failed deal with defense contractor Oshkosh, in which they were set to receive 60,000 electric vehicle mail trucks as part of Biden's stricter fuel efficiency standards. But that effort so far has proved to be a failure, with the USPS receiving only 93 out of nearly 3,000 vehicles expected by now. Add to that more than $9.5 billion in debt just this fiscal year. So joining me now is John McElroy, creator and host of Autoline Daily. It's a webcast about the inner workings of the auto industry and its products. John, great to see you. Thank you for your time. So when it comes to this privatization, potentially, what could that look like if it were to become a reality?
Well, Nichole, this is something that's been talked about for decades, literally, but no one's ever done anything about it. So it will be interesting to see if the president-elect carries through on this idea of privatizing the U.S. Post Office. But, as you pointed out, it's always been running into financial issues, though a lot of that has got to do with its unfunded pension liabilities, retirement liabilities as well. I think if you strip them out, the post office might actually be posting a profit. But, with over 525,000 employees, it's a huge operation. It's got to be one of the largest employers in the country. And of course, at a time when the president-elect is talking about cutting government spending, this has got to be one of the things that they're keying in on.
So, John, do you think if this were to be privatized, do you think the average American, the average customer, would notice a difference?
I don't think so, not the average one. Now, having said that, look, there's postal routes in rural areas especially that don't get a lot of volume, that are probably hugely unprofitable. If this were to be privatized, the USPS, those might be some of the first operations that would be cut. But like I said, that would probably affect a relatively small number of people, and probably somebody else would step in to fill the void as well. So I think for the average person, they wouldn't notice that much if the post office was privatized.
So, John, I want to talk about something I mentioned in the intro there, the electric mail trucks that were supposed to have been delivered. They're so far behind schedule, only 93 trucks by November compared to the 3,000 that were expected. What is going on with that? Why do you think there is such a huge delay? Why is there such a big discrepancy there?
Well, when you cite those numbers, I think you're probably only talking about electric mail trucks from Oshkosh, because the post office has actually bought 6,000 EVs this year. I think a good part of them are probably from the Ford Motor Company. It's got an electric version of its transit van. I don't know if that's where all those numbers came from, but the post office itself is reporting that it's got 6,000 EVs. But, look, here's the issue. Oshkosh is building an all-new mail truck. It was not originally designed to be electric. So they had to go back to the drawing board, so to speak, to be able to convert these to be able to be electric. And even if the post office were able to get electrics, you just don't throw them into the fleet. You got to put in charging stations for them. You got to get permits to be able to put in the charging stations. Boy, it takes forever to get anything done in this country. And one of the biggest hangups is getting permits to do things. So, like anything to do with electric cars, this is very early days. Doesn't surprise me that they're running behind. But it is kind of surprising that Oshkosh, if that's indeed the case where this slowdown has been, has not been able to pick up the pace in terms of making them.
Yeah, we will certainly see what happens because, you bring up all of those good points. You need chargers, you need permits. Creator and host of Autoline Daily, John McElroy, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.